All right, ladies and gentlemen, this is June Collier, and I'm going to share my screen here. I want to do a quick little training with you guys. And so, as this is actually coming up, I want to talk about understanding investing tolerance, or I should say, rather, I should have said risk tolerance. And I want to talk about the $10,000 that I turned into $30,000 with one of my long-term option contracts. I did that within a year. And so the question came up, what do you do with the 30,000? So you took 10 in 1 year, you turned it into 30 on that particular contract. How do you flip it? How do you invest that money? And so I want to talk about it because everybody has a different way of investing, and there's no right way or wrong way, but everybody has a different way. And so there are a lot of different people who can teach you how to invest and trade in the stock market. One of the things that I like to tell people is that there is 100 different ways to trade the same stock. 100 different strategies that you can use to trade the same stock. You can do, a short call. You can, do a put. You can buy long. You can sell a covered call. You can straddle. There's all different ways that you can trade that same stock. We can all trade the same stock in a variety of different ways. Everything really depends on your risk tolerance and the strategy that you're most comfortable with using. So when you're out looking for a coach or a teacher, someone that is going to teach you how to trade, one of the things that you got to be mindful of, and this is something that I realized, is that you got to make sure that your risk tolerance lines up with your instructor or your teacher's risk tolerance. Otherwise, you could be learning strategies that you were not cut out to do. And so I say that because oftentimes I look at my strategy. I have a conservative approach that has some aggression in it. So I say conservative aggression, but that's really what it is. I'm conservative with a touch of aggression in my conservative approach. And I'll share that with you here in a second. But then there are other people that are very, very aggressive. And so you got to understand what's your risk tolerance. And your risk tolerance should change over as you become older, your risk tolerance should change as well. You should be less risk tolerant as you get older. And so I believe that the older you get, the more conservative you have to become with your investments. Time is a major factor in investing. And if you're close to retirement, you do not have enough time to be taking on too much risk in the market. Now, this is me. This is what June Collier believes. As you get older, you don't have the same luxury of time. Time is one of the biggest factors when it comes to investing. And as you get older, you get closer to your retirement years. When you get closer to your retirement years, now you're at the point that you need to start using that money. You need to start living off of the returns of that money. So you don't have a whole lot of time to make these risky investments, because if you're young, you can take on some risk. If it goes well for you, great. If it does not go well for you, you still have enough time to make up for some of those losses. So that's why I say, as you become older, you should become more conservative with your trading. Now, I'm kind of giving you what my idea, or what the three things options that I have with turning this 10,000 into 30,000. So the conservative side of me would say, I had started out with 10, I ended up with 30. The conservative side would say take 10,000 and purchase a buy and hold stock or stocks. This would be $10,000 going to something that I'm purchasing long term. So for example, you guys know me by now. I like Microsoft, I like Apple. I might take $10,000 and buy several shares of Apple or several shares of Microsoft or a combination of both. That would be my long-term approach. Those are buy and hold stocks. So that means that I'm going to buy those and I don't plan on selling those, for the next 10, 15 years. Then I would take another 10,000 and purchase more leap stocks, right? So I go out and I find me some more leap stocks that I could purchase. Now, here's the interesting thing. I could purchase $10,000 of Microsoft for a buy and hold, then turn around and purchase $10,000 of Microsoft as a leap stock that doesn't expire until 2023 or 2024. Same stock, but two different strategies there. And then take the other 10,000 and do what is known as a 30-day cover call buy right strategy. And what that basically means is I'm buying the stock and selling the covered call in the same trade. That's called a buy right. I buy the stock and write the covered call in that same transaction. So I'll take $10,000 to do that, and I'll do a 30-day on that. Now, why do I like this approach? Because the 30-day covered call gives me some excitement, if you will. It allows me to stay in the market. It allows me to do something every 30 days. At least every 30 days, I'm trading something. The leap allows me to buy something and then be trading that something within 12 to 18 months. Because remember, I'm going to be out of the stock, out of the leap 6 months prior to expiration. So if I purchase a 24-month leap, I'm going to be out of that leap in 16 months, right? I'm going to be out of that leap in about 16 months, 16 to 18 months. I'll be out of that leap. And then the 10,000 long hold, that's just long. That's just long. So I've got long, medium, and short. So that's why I like that approach, because it allows me to have short-term trading goals, medium-term trading goals, and long-term trading goals. Now, if I'm taking some moderate risk, I'm going to take that 30,000, I'm going to split it in half. I'm going to put 15,000 on a stock or set of stocks to buy and hold, and then I'm going to take 15,000 and purchase the leap stock. That's moderate. And then if I'm being just super aggressive, I'm going to take the whole 30,000 and buy some more leaps, right? So these are my options. These are the options that I would look at with the $30,000 that I've created with that trade. So these are the things that I would look at. I'm probably leaning more to the conservative side, but again, my returns on the conservative side won't be as great as on the aggressive side. However, on the aggressive side, I'm taking a whole lot more risk. All right. All right. So I know you guys have seen me show you some of the leaps that I recently sold. So I recently sold some leaps. You can go back and watch a couple of my previous videos, and you can see that those leaps have given me, I bought Waste Management. I got 101, 102% return on that in 1 year. I had XLK. I had a 217% return on XLK. And I've got Microsoft right now that has over 200% that I need to sell. So those are leaps that are coming up to the expiration within 6 months for me to get out. But you'll also see that I've got some 2023 leaps. That means that these contracts don't expire until 2023. We're still in 2021. So you'll see that I have the XLY January 20th of 2023. I got 6 contracts of those. So that's 600 shares. It cost me $9,874 to buy. The value of it right now is $17,865, which gives me an 80% return, and we're still in 2021. I'm way out before I even sell this one. XLK, I love XLK. I've been buying XLK on an ongoing basis. This one also expires January 20th of 2023. I bought 12 contracts of this, so that's 1,200 shares. It cost me $11,767. Right now, the value of that contract is $20,460. That's a 73% gain, and I still got until 2023, right? I've got about another year before I start selling this, because I'm not going to go all the way to expiration. So I'm probably going to sell this in 2022, which is next year, around this time next year, around July, August of next year. I'll be getting out of this contract before we get into 2023. And then we got SMH. SMH, I got 4 contracts. I paid $10,000 for SMH. It is now worth $34,000. There's another example of $10,000 turned into $30,000. I got a 234% return on that, and I still got another year and a half to go before the contract expires. Leaps are really, really good, and I love Leaps because that gives me that conservative approach. It is a conservative option strategy. Pick a great stock, buy the option contract as far out as you can to give yourself time to be correct in the direction of the stock, and enough time that theta does not eat away at the premium. If you don't know what that means, you got to get into my stock class. I'm rolling on. So my whole thing here is to stack as many odds in your favor when investing. What does that mean? It means pick strong fundamental stocks with an upward trend and rising top line revenue. That's one of the things that I look at. Also, spend the extra amount of money to buy option contracts that don't expire for 18 to 24 months. So the reason why people buy short-term options is because they're cheap. But those short-term options don't give you a whole lot of time to be correct about the direction of the trade. When you buy a long-term option, like what I'm doing, it costs you a little bit of money, but look at the returns that I'm getting. Look at the value that I'm getting, and I don't have to worry about losing that money. Buy the option on the dip. So that's the other thing. I cashed out the 30,000. I'm sitting on that money. Just as soon as I get to 30 doesn't mean I go back into the market. I'm waiting now for a pullback. All stocks have pullbacks and dips. So you have to be patient for your entry period, wherever your entry point is. So I hope you enjoyed this quick training. I hope you got some value out of it. Again, my name is June Collier. I teach a class called Stock Investing for Complete Beginners. If you're interested in getting involved in that class, you can go to stocks.junecollier.com. That's stocks.junecollier.com. There'll be some information there, and all of my contact information is below. You can contact me there, and hopefully you've learned something here and will love to get into one of my classes where I'll teach you how to trade the stock market. This is June Collier signing out. God bless, take care, and we'll chat with you guys soon.